Today I'm going to start off with my actual pregnancy journey, and this first video is going to be my first trimester, what I went through during the first trimester, and something I'm hoping helps women out there who may have a similar type of pregnancy to help you feel less alone, and to let you know that not all pregnancies are like these Instagram pregnancies where everybody's all like glowing and beautiful and it's really amazing. No. So I'm just going to share my side of it, and hopefully it's something you guys enjoy and want to see the rest of. So if you want to see my first trimester journey in my very first pregnancy, then definitely keep watching. Right, so let's just jump in. It's going to be more of like a chit chat, tell my experience kind of video. I know it's really different for my channel, but it's 2020 and I'm doing what I want. If you guys follow me normally, you know that I got married in 2019, in March of 2019 actually. So pregnancy for me wasn't something that was on my mind. It wasn't something that I didn't want, but it wasn't something that I wanted at the same time. It's very strange to say. Life was fine, I went back to work, just living life like normal. My husband and I weren't actually trying to get pregnant, but we weren't taking precautions against pregnancy. So I really shouldn't have been surprised that I got pregnant, but so my periods are very regular and I don't usually have to like guess when my periods are coming. My periods, I've been really blessed, thank you Jesus, to have periods that last like 3 to 4 days. They come around the same time every month, and I've never had to worry about whether my period is coming, am I late, etc. And I missed my period in September. And I was speaking to one of my really good friends then, and I told her about like the missed period and stuff, and how at that time I was terrified of being pregnant. Like really anxious, really scared, and I did not want to be pregnant at that time because I was like, oh my god, I'd only just gotten married. Even though my husband and I were together for so long before, I still wasn't ready. I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but being a 28-year-old woman, I feel more like a 17-year-old child. Like, me and my friends joke back and forth a lot that we are not adults in any way, shape or form. Like, my mommy still keeps all my important documents, and I could call her and be like, Mom, what's my BIR number? Mom, what's my account number? Mom, I can't remember any of these things. How the hell am I going to be somebody's mommy? Like, I can't even mommy myself. So we were speaking and she was just like, just take a pregnancy test. It's very easy. You know this, you could just find out if you're pregnant or not. And I'm like, I don't want to be pregnant. I'm not ready. I only just got married. I'm not an adult. And I was really scared to actually like take the pregnancy test. And then after about 4 or 5 days of my period not coming, I knew I was already pregnant. Like instantly, I knew. And then like I had like this little flashback where I remembered my husband and I having a conversation 4 to 5 weeks prior where, you know, we're married, so we're doing the do. God, this is so much TMI. I'm sorry. And right after, no joke, I was like, I think I just got pregnant. And he's like, you are crazy. What the hell is wrong with you? You cannot be pregnant instantly. Like, that is not a thing. You're a doctor. You very well know that. And I'm like, yeah, but I feel different. I feel weird. And then he's like, you are crazy. Just stop it. No, all this time you've never gotten pregnant. Relax. And I continued thinking about it for the next couple weeks. And then I was just like, yeah, you're very crazy. Like, you can't tell you're pregnant instantly. And it's impossible to become pregnant instantly. Like, you are not pregnant. And then this happens, and I'm like, oh my god, I missed my period. I knew I got pregnant. I knew exactly when it happened. OMG. So I finally decided, after speaking with my friend, to go home, take the pregnancy test, and just get it over and done with. And I took the first pregnancy test, and if you know me, you know I'm very anxious. I'm very like crazy neurotic. So I bought like 6 pregnancy tests, and 6 different ones, because I'm like, listen, I'm not sure I could trust any of these brands. Let me just buy 6. And I peed on the first stick and it was like pregnant. Like, there is no, this line looks a little faint, let me hold it up to the light. What do you think? Message my friend. Nothing like that. It was 2 definite lines, pregnant. And then I took another one that comes up with not pregnant or pregnant, and the words are like blatantly pregnant. And if you've ever taken a pregnancy test, you know that sometimes you have to wait for the lines to actually like show up. There was no waiting. It was like almost like instantly like you are pregnant. I remember being home by myself and freaking the F out. I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, how could I be pregnant? Not that I didn't know how I could be pregnant, but like what the hell? And my husband wasn't in the country at the time, so I was literally home by myself, scared out of my mind, wondering, what the F? How did I get here? I am not ready to be anybody's mommy. And I ended up messaging him, and he was all excited and like, oh my God, yeah, we said if we got pregnant, it wouldn't be a big deal. So yeah, we're pregnant. And I'm like, no, you're not having the reaction I wanted. I wanted you to feel like the way I was feeling, anxious, and what the hell did we do? And he's just like, it's not a big deal, you're overreacting. We're gonna have a baby, that's fine, just breathe. And I'm like, home in Trinidad, freaking out. And then another part of me finding out officially that I was pregnant, like I said, I was on oncology rotation. With oncology, you deal with chemotherapy, and obviously being pregnant, I cannot be dealing with chemotherapy because it affects fast-growing cells, i.e. like a fetus. And I had to like inform work and let them know so that I could be switched out of the rotation, which was something, again, that made me not want to deal with the pregnancy in terms of, like I said, I was excited to be on oncology. It's something new to learn. And I did not, at that time, want anybody else to know that I was pregnant. And I'm a very, like I said, neurotic, anxious, crazy person, and I tend to be very superstitious. And I did not want anybody to know that I was pregnant. And then because I was in oncology, there was no way I could hide it because of the fact that the only reason you get moved from oncology rotation is if you're pregnant. So this is me like tracking back. I'm probably pregnant, probably about 5 weeks for it to show up on the pregnancy test. And this was just me thinking about when I actually thought I had gotten pregnant, and it was about 5 weeks prior. So I was like, I'm only 5 weeks pregnant, and now I'm gonna have to let the whole entire department know that I'm pregnant, and I'm not even ready to cope with this pregnancy myself. I'm not even coping. My husband is not home. I have not even gotten to like express my feelings to anybody really. I didn't want to be judged. I didn't want anybody to like think oddly of me, that here you are being blessed with life, and so many women wish to be pregnant, and so many women are trying to be pregnant and can't, and so many women have so many complications, and here you are being blessed with life and you acting crazy. But it's not something many people speak about, and it's not to say that I didn't welcome the pregnancy. It's just in that moment, at that time, I didn't feel capable of dealing with becoming somebody's mother. Pregnancy has so many parts to it, and the pregnancy is just one part. Like, now you're going to be in charge of an entire human being. You have to raise that human being and be responsible for their impact on society and how you impact them and how you affect their life. And it's way, way big to deal with that type of responsibility. And like I said, I didn't feel like an adult. I didn't think I was ready. And for me, it was just too soon. So I was still like battling with all those emotions. And I'm not sure if many women speak about that part of pregnancy, or if women on the whole feel that type of way when they find out they're pregnant. Because most people, when they find out, are like ecstatic and like, oh my God, I'm pregnant and so excited. But for me, I didn't have that feeling. I didn't have that right off the bat excitement. Oh my God, I'm gonna be a mommy, I'm pregnant. That wasn't that way for me, which is something that I battled with, because I also ended up at the time feeling very guilty for those feelings. This baby does not deserve a mommy who instantly did not feel ecstatic and appreciative of having a, oh my god, I'm getting emotional, I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. And it was me battling back and forth a lot with my own emotions and my own self, and having to come to terms with being pregnant, and then on top of that, having everybody at work know that, yeah, Leah is pregnant. So at that point in time, it was very hard for me finding out the news that I was pregnant and trying to come to terms with something that I wasn't sure I wanted to deal with. And that is part of the reason why I thought that having a pregnancy series would be good, because hopefully not everybody feels the way most women feel, or I think most women feel. Hopefully me expressing to you my emotions that, hey, off the bat, I wasn't really excited and ecstatic. I was really scared, really worried, and I wasn't sure I wanted to be pregnant. Hopefully it can help some women who have felt like that feel like, hey, it's okay. Pregnancy is a big friggin' deal. I didn't immediately tell my closest people to me. I didn't immediately tell my mom. My mom and I are really, really close, and I didn't immediately tell her or my two best friends at that point in time, just because of me going through this little roller coaster. I didn't want to like express that part, like I didn't want to tell them that part of myself. I didn't want to let them know that, I don't know, I was just really judging myself as well, because I thought I was a really horrible person for feeling like that, and for, I don't know, just, I wasn't ready to let them know. I hadn't come to terms with it as yet, and I was just trying to figure out where I was mentally and emotionally. And also, because being this crazy superstitious person, I wanted to like make sure the pregnancy was like viable, because then now I'm working myself up, like getting all flustered and stuff, and suppose it's not really a viable pregnancy. Yes, it's unfortunate being a doctor, because that's where my brain went immediately. Is it viable? And I thought about ectopic pregnancies, or molar pregnancies, or phantom pregnancies. I don't know why I thought about all those things before I actually thought about, yeah, normal pregnancy, or an average age to have a child. You've never had any problems before, you've never been pregnant before, and why are you going to those things first? But that's just my medical mind just took over, and that's what I thought at first. So I also wanted to confirm that the pregnancy was a viable pregnancy in the appropriate place inside of my womb before I actually like broke the news to anybody as well. Right, so I ended up going to just to have an ultrasound done. I didn't visit a doctor or anything. I just booked an ultrasound and did one of my own accord, just to like locate the sac and make sure it was in the correct place. It was in a viable position, and the heart was actually already present and stuff, which means that the baby would have been around 5 to 6 weeks gestation, which is what I had like actually thought in my head anyway. Like I said, I think I knew exactly when I got pregnant. But anyway, so I ended up telling my mom and dad, and then my husband told his mom and his sister. But the way we did it was I got the first ultrasound that we had, and I put it on a flash drive, and then I wrapped it up in some baby onesies with like grandma and grandpa sayings, and I put it in a box. Get to South, and I hand my mom a box, and she's like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, wait till daddy comes, you guys open it together. And she's like, why didn't you guys get us a present? It's like, what? I'm like, it's an early Christmas present. In fact, this is your Christmas present. So just open it. And she's like, why you can't just wait till Christmas? The Christmas not that far away. And I'm like, yeah, just open it. It's something important. Just open it. And my mom opens the box and pulls out the onesie, and it's kind of like confused, and then watches, like actually reads the words on it. She starts to like scream, and it's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I'm so excited. And my dad is just like, I don't understand, I'm very confused. And my mom is like, what do you mean you're confused? And she starts to like smack it with the onesie, and she's like, she's pregnant, we're gonna be grandparents. And my dad's like, oh my god, really? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, what is the flash drive? And I told her it's the first ultrasound, and she's just been so excited ever since. Which is something I predicted, which is also why I didn't want to let them know too early, get their hopes up, as well as I didn't want to selfishly deal with their positive emotions and my negative emotions. So I was kind of trying to avoid, in general, that's my normal mechanism, is avoidance. Okay, so let's just go through how the first trimester actually went for me. I initially started having cravings in my pregnancy, and I had it from like for the first few weeks of being pregnant. And I don't know if any of you follow me on Instagram, but at the time, of course, I wasn't going to say on Instagram that I was pregnant, but I was having intense, specific cravings at that point in time. And it really was for only, like, it was for two things, but for one thing in particular, I was like, pregnancy cravings are crazy. Like, you feel as though you have to have it. It literally puts your teeth on edge, not getting the thing you want. It literally makes you angry and upset, and you're like irrational, and you're like, why can't I have this? I don't understand. It makes you crazy. And at that point in time, I was having cola cravings. Like, you know, the flavor, right? Cola, paradise plum, apple grape, cola champagne, cola lolly sticks. I wanted one of those so badly. And of course, me being the lucky person that I am, Flavor Right in Trinidad technically closed down, and we're getting cola from it. And I remember so many people being so sweet about it and like trying to like look for this cola lolly for me, sending me to random places where they think they saw it last. Some people telling me, well, there's this guy who still drives around in a cart and he has Flavor Right, maybe he has the cola lollies. And then some people being sweet enough to say, well, maybe you're not gonna get it, but try this lolly and try that one and try the next one. And it's pretty similar and they are good. And I literally think I tried every single lolly in the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. Every brand of lolly in the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. And every time I would eat a lolly, some would be good, some would be awful. Some would be awful. Like, I've tried some very bad lollies. And every time I would taste them, I would be like, but this is not what I want. The taste of a cola is very specific. I'm sorry if anybody disagrees with me. I'm sorry if any of you feel as though other lolly sticks are superior to cola. No. There's no lolly that tastes like a cola. Cola is the only lolly you can literally suck and the ice doesn't turn white. Like, you can't suck up the juice. It tastes amazing. And that is what I wanted. Specifically, if I could get my hands on some grape or apple, life would have been made. But where the hell in Trinidad am I going to find a cola when Flavor Right factory closed down and I can't find it anywhere? And I remember looking all over the place for this blasted lolly, and my cousins were trying and everybody was trying, and I just couldn't find it. And I was just like to the point where I was going crazy. And then I remembered, well, my mom actually got a tip from somebody that one of the groceries, I think it's Annan Low Price in Davie, had lollies. And they thought they saw some cola lollies there. And I'm like, listen, I don't care. I know I live in Central. We drive into Davie. I need those cola lollies. So my mom came up the weekend and she was like, okay, let's go for a drive. And she drove me from Central all the way to Davie. I know all the way it's not really that far, but like for some lollies, it's kind of far. And we drove to Annan, and I was just like asking the persons in the store, do you guys have cola lollies? And it's like, your Flavor Right closed down, we don't have no cola lollies. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you don't have cola? I drive all the way from Central and you tell me you don't have none here? And they were like, yeah, I don't think so. And then I was just like, I don't believe you guys. Let me go and find a manager. Must have a manager inside of here. So I was like walking crazy throughout the grocery store. And then I spot somebody and I'm like, please, just go and check in the back and tell me if you have any more Flavor Right cola lollies. And the guy was like, no, we used to carry them, but we don't get that much anymore, and Flavor Right closed down, so you don't get that much. And I'm like, can you just please check in the back? Please, I'm begging you. I need these lollies. And while the guy is searching in the back for the lollies, my mom, we passed by like a chiller, and I just happened to see a red pack with Pepe the Penguin on it. You guys remember him? the penguin on it, and I'm like, sign from God, it must have lollies in this fridge. And I unpacked the people in fridge, and at the bottom where they had like the lollies that I had tried before with the other brands, underneath that had 4 boxes of Hola Cola lollies, and I'm like, yes, jackpot, I'm taking all. It came up to about 300 lollies, and I bought every single Hola Cola lolly that Anna and Price had at that point in time. Got home, my husband was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why do you have so many boxes of lollies? I'm like, do not touch any. You can't have none. None is yours. I don't want to come home and see none of these wrappers open if I didn't open them. Don't touch my lollies. Apart from my emotional state in my first trimester and finding out I was pregnant, something that I dealt with a lot in my first trimester was this morning sickness. Now, I'm convinced it's a man who came up with that name. It's literally called morning sickness when you feel it for the entire day, and I'm not even exaggerating. You would awake feeling ill, go through your entire day feeling ill, go to sleep feeling ill. It's just this persistent nausea that does not go away. And I mean nausea to the point where your head hurts. The only thing that makes you feel better, and it's because you're not aware that you're nauseous, is being asleep. Once you're awake, it's horrible. You have headaches, you just feel dizzy, you want to throw up all the time. Morning sickness in pregnancy is no joke. It's literally the worst feeling during the entire pregnancy. I think that was one of my worst symptoms, was that morning sickness, all day sickness crap. And I basically had it for the majority of my first trimester. I would get up in the morning, vomit before I brush my teeth. While brushing my teeth, I would vomit. While taking the shower, I would vomit. Trying to force myself to have my supplements on the morning, that is the folic acid and stuff, I would vomit. Trying to even eat breakfast, awful, vomit. And literally anything I would do, I would end up vomiting. To the point where there was nothing on my stomach and I would still be vomiting. Bilious, meaning that green stuff that comes up after you've vomited and vomited and vomited. Yeah, most of my vomits were actually that, because I didn't have anything in my stomach after a point in time. And it had gotten to a point where I couldn't keep anything down. I would resort to eating cricks only, like just dry, plain cricks, and even that wouldn't stay down. And I was just like, what the hell is this? How am I supposed to feed a baby, grow a baby, if I can't take anything in? And it's so ridiculous to me that that is a symptom of pregnancy, when you are trying to like build up nutrients to make this new life, and you can't, because you can't even take in anything. You can't even take in cricks is nothing, and you can't even take that in. And I was still working at that point in time, so I was also very grateful that everybody knew I was pregnant, so they kind of understood, because it would be kind of hard to hide, I think, being pregnant and having that intense of a morning sickness experience and trying to hide it, because every like 10-15 minutes on rounds, I have to run off and be like, excuse me, I really can't stay, and have to run to the bathroom to throw up. And it's like back and forth from rounds, just me running and throwing up, not eating anything. And as I said, it went on for my full first trimester, to the point where I ended up losing 15 pounds. I had started off at around 135 to 136, and in my first trimester, I ended up being around 120 to 121. That's a lot of weight to lose. My clothes were fitting very loosely on me. My face was kind of drawn. Everybody was like, girl, you look sick. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't feel so hot. It's not nice. You shouldn't tell pregnant people you look sick. We know. We know we look sick. We know it's not like cute and glorious. We know. And later in my first trimester, the vomiting got worse. And thank God I'm a doctor, honestly. I had some friends come and put in some IV accesses for me. And that would be like a regular thing. Like they would have to come put in an IV access, and I would have to go to sleep with IV fluids running. The first time I had yeah, so the first time I had IV fluids, I went to my doctor, and I had vomited a lot the day before, and my urine, I actually ended up checking my urine myself because, well, I knew what to look out for, and I had a lot of something called ketones, and ketones appear when you're very, very dehydrated, and like you're not taking in anything to break down, so you don't have any like sugar, because that's your body's main food supply or main like energy supply, and it then starts to break down like muscle and fat, and it produces ketones when fat breaks down. And I had a lot of ketones in my urine, which suggested that I was both very, very dehydrated and literally wasn't taking anything in. I knew both of those things. And the only way to really get rid of ketones is to ingest some more fluids. How am I ingesting fluids if all I'm doing is vomiting? So I went to the doctor and I told him that, and he checked it himself. He said, yeah, you definitely need some fluids. He put on an IV drip for me, and then he put up some fluids for me. And then he said, look, I can admit you to the hospital, but you're basically going to do the same thing at home, which is lie on a bed and get some fluids. Can you just like purchase the fluids and stuff and like do it at home? I'm sure you have friends who can put an IV in. And I'm like, yeah, definitely. I'm not trying to stay in the hospital. I already work in the hospital. I'm not trying to stay in the hospital, even if it's a private hospital. So I ended up asking my friends. They came, they put in some IVs, and that was me on like a regular basis. I would just be like sleeping with some IV fluids hooked up by my bedside, and me getting IV fluids in my hand. That was telling you how ridiculous my morning sickness ended up being. Technically, I guess it could have been classified as something called hyperemesis, which is literally hyper meaning large or excessive, and emesis is the medical term for vomiting. So I just had like excessive vomiting in pregnancy, which is basically what I had. And at that point, when I was getting the frequent IV fluids, I also wasn't able to cope with the workload of being a doctor in the hospital. As you know, doctors have to do calls and they have to be on their feet a lot, and with me not being able to take in nutrients, because IV fluids is just for basically hydration and some salts, it doesn't give you nutrients, you tend to be very, very weak. And I was just like exhausted. I was tired, I was in a lot of pain, and I had asked my doctor at that time, yeah, I'm not able. So I ended up on a month sick leave, and during that time I continued to have vomiting. It was very horrible because that time that I was on sick leave was during the period of December. Basically, everybody around me eating Christmas food and pastels. Oh, I love pastels. Pastels and ham and turkey, and I can't eat anything. I eat in air and IV fluid, literally. And I was home for that whole month, feeling very depressed and sad because I was losing weight, I'm hungry, I can't eat, I'm moody, I'm just angry in general. And it was just a very tough time because, I don't know, it's just a lot on you. It takes a lot from you. And then about January or so, like mid-January, it eased up a lot, which I was really, really grateful for. But I was also moving from my first trimester into my second one. So I kind of expected the hyperemesis and the morning sickness to kind of, and I was very grateful I could have started back eating. Of course, I couldn't eat any of the nice Christmas food, but hey, food is food, right? And I was just happy at that point in time that I could have actually eaten. Right, so with the whole hyperemesis thing, with pregnancy, as you know, you can't take any and every anti-nausea medication. You have to be very careful about which ones you can and cannot take, etc., because so many things affect babies and so many things cross placentas and can cause birth defects and problems, so you have to be very careful. With me, I literally tried every pregnancy appropriate anti-nausea medication. I started off using Gravol, which did nothing but made me feel drowsy and nauseous. That's the oral one. It did not work for me at all. And then I tried something called Kytril, which is a stronger anti-nausea or anti-emetic drug. And a lot of patients use it in chemotherapy, which I thought, well, it's a strong anti-emetic. It's used for those in chemotherapy. It should work for me. Nada. Did not work at all. I got no relief with my Kytril oral. And then when I had the whole IV fluids fiasco, I ended up using IV Kytril, which is more potent because it goes directly into your bloodstream. And that didn't really help either. So my last resort, and the only thing that actually worked, and I think it worked because it knocked me out and made me feel very, very sleepy, and I slept all my nausea away, was TMI suppositories for gravel. Now, that's one of the most awful things having to do yourself, is to insert a suppository. And gravel suppositories are not fun. They're not fun at all. They burn, they hurt, they make you feel kind of strange, and then you just have this like leaden, dead, out of it sleep. But at least you're not vomiting. So that was the only thing that would work for me, was the gravel suppositories, and I couldn't take like a million of them. It really was an uncomfortable feeling, but it did help on the days that were worse than others. So some of the other symptoms that I was experiencing throughout my first trimester are symptoms that most women kind of complain about. One of them is my skin, and I kind of had bad skin to begin with. My skin in general is not the easiest skin to deal with. I have like combination oily. I've always battled with acne, been back and forth with it. I've had hyperpigmentation, etc. And yeah, I didn't get any of that pregnancy glow. I didn't get that lovely, oh, you look so lovely and glowing during pregnancy. My skin was oily AF. I have a lot of pimples. Even now in my third trimester, I still have a lot of pimples. There's pimples on my forehead, my cheeks, my chin, my nose. I'm even getting pimples above my eyelids, which I've never gotten before. And my skin in general is just very, very oily, and nothing is really working. And I can't really try anything too excessive because, again, you can't use any and every product during pregnancy because of the potential risk to the baby. So I've had to cut back on a lot of my skincare, which I think may contribute to why my skin was so bad, or is so bad right now. And when pregnancy is over, it's not going to last forever. I haven't been going anywhere anyway. I also had a very unexpected symptom happen to me, and it actually happened in my first trimester, which was kind of strange. So I am normally flat chested. I am normally a 32A, and even in the 32As, the cup size do always pull out, right? I have small boobs. I've always had a small chest. It used to bother me. I used to be like, wait, boy, I wish I had a C cup. I wish I could have full out some boobs. I wish I had more cleavage, etc. But I'd come to terms with my boobs recently. Within the past 2 to 3 years, I was like, look, I have small boobs. They're not growing. I'm not doing no breast augmentation. Small boobs just give me more options. Small boobs have a little bit more leeway. We don't have to wear a bra. We can lie down flat on our stomach. They don't hurt. All these things. In my first trimester, within the second month, these boobs came out of nowhere. I went from a 32A to a 34D. A 34D from an A cup. That is like quadruple the size of my normal boobs. I don't even understand how that's even possible. I remember finding out that I was a 34D. We went into the store that sells bras, and I'm like, okay, this 32A bra can't fit me anymore. I don't need a bra, and it's looking ridiculous. I need to get some new bras. And I get into the store, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm just kind of looking around for myself. And I'm like, okay, so there's no way. I'm probably like a very big B or like a small C. So I pick up like a bigger B, like a 34B, and I pick up like a 32C. And I'm like, okay, try which one, and then I'll pick the bras according to that size. And then the lady comes up and she's like, you getting through? And I'm like, well, I need a new bra. I'm pregnant. I recently got pregnant, and you know, my bra's not fitting. And she's like, oh my God, I'm pregnant too. And then she's like, where are you from? You're from Trinidad? And I'm like, well, yeah. And she's like, my husband is from Trinidad, but we live here. That was in the States, by the way. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And she's like, listen, we'll be pregnant sisters. Let me go get you a bra. So I'm like, okay, well, I have 2 sizes here. And she's like, no, you need to be measured. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I got it right. And she's like, I doubt it. Your boobs look huge. You're probably like a 34D. Let me just get a 34D for you. And I'm like, sis, no, I'm not a 34D. No way in hell I could go from a 32A, barely, to a 34D. And she's like, just trust me, let's go to the fitting room. She measures me and she's like, yeah, you see, look, you're a 34D. I'm like, you have that very loose. I feel like you need to check it. She's like, just trust me. She brings this 34D and she's like, just try it on. I'm like, still like reluctant. I'm like, no, that's not possible. You're crazy, whatever. I put on the flipping 34D. Why my boobs like full out that cup? Full it out. Full it out. And I'm on the last rung of the 34 backing piece. Not even like the first part, the last rung. And I'm like, what the hell? And she's like, I told you. And she's like, don't worry, by the time your milk comes in, you'll be a double D. I'm like, please take that back. Please take that back. So yeah, 32 to 34, A to D cup. I'm currently a 34D, which for me is slightly devastating. So for all of us, all you guys who thought you may have wanted big boobs, please take it back. Don't wish for something that you most likely cannot handle. So, like I said, when I was younger, I wanted big boobs, right? All small-chested girls want that. We get teased a lot, etc. And I've always thought I wanted big boobs. They have cleavage, they look so cute, they look like female, they look very, very nice. Now having big boobs, I hate them with a passion, to the point where I will give anything to go back to my 32A, like anything. For one, because of that rapid increase in size, and I mean rapid, my boobs have stretch marks. I have never had stretch marks anywhere on my body in life, far less on my boobs, which is something that is very devastating to me because I hate how they look. It's not something that I'm going to let affect me to the point where it's going to bother me every day, but it's just something that I really don't like. They're not deep stretch marks where you can actually feel them. They're just like discoloration in the pattern of a stretch mark, so I'm hoping that they would eventually fade, but they are present, and that's because of my rapid increase in size. As well as, I don't know how you girls with the big boobs do it. Like literally, kudos to you. Big boobs touch each other without your consent. Like I've had a 32A, so my boobs never met. They were not friends, they were neighbors, but they used to like wave across the fence. They never met each other in person. These boobs always touching. Like I hate the feeling of my own skin touching my skin, which is very strange and very weird, and I'm probably a little bit neurotic, as I said. But they touch you. They touch each other, and they touch like the under part of your chest. So where your boob actually like meets your chest wall, the boobs touch there. I hate that feeling. I don't know how women with big boobs deal with that. I literally always want to like have a bra on to separate my boobs from touching me. It's very weird. I don't know if anybody else knows what I'm speaking about or even experiences this, but it literally just, I don't want to feel it. It sweats. It literally feels hot. TMI for you, but I told you guys I'd be very like frank and give you my full experience. And you have to wear a bra most of the times because they feel very painful. Your back kind of hurts, so you have to have like support, which I'm not accustomed to. I'm a free girl. I usually like don't have to wear a bra for anything. I don't have to wear a bra if I'm going out sometimes and just slap on a pasty and I'm good. Can't do that anymore. I have to wear a bra. The touching thing, they hurt. Big boobs are not fun. So yeah, that basically sums up my first trimester. I don't think it's so different from what a lot of other women experience. Just some of my emotions and some of my thoughts at that point in time may be a little bit different. But yeah, I think in general, that's just how some pregnancies go. I definitely did not have that glowy, cute, oh my god, you're so cute pregnant experience. At least not for my first trimester anyway. Yeah, I kind of hope you guys enjoyed my rambling video about what I experienced during my first trimester. I hope you stay tuned to watch the rest of the series. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was fun for you to watch. Give this video a like and a thumbs, well, a thumbs up is a like. Subscribe to my channel, leave comments down below. Any questions you guys have, I'm always like excited to answer. You can hit me up on Instagram, you can actually message any comments down below. It's not a big deal. and share the video. It will help me a lot. So yeah, until my next video guys, bye.